How do you stay together? You gotta fuck. People always say, oh, when we got together, it was so much fun, but then problems arose. No, they didn't. Nothing arose. Every problem you have today, you had when you met, but you were fucking, so you forgave.
I just want to already be deeply in love. I don't want to have to trot through all the getting to know you questions. There was like, oh, whereabouts do you hail from? Well, where do you hail from? I need answers. Oh, you know. It's like, where? And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've never been to that town, but I've been to a nearby town, so I can kind of imagine.
I love my wife a lot, but marriage has definitely made me a worse person. All right. Before I got married, I used to care because I was trying to get laid. Now I don't care anymore, okay? All I care about is my wife's opinion about me and her well-being. That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck about any of this other idiots on the internet, or even her friends come and talk to my wife's friends and say, hey, Ronnie, I'm like, fuck this shit. I just gotta walk away.
If you're worried about gold diggers, I have an idea. How about just date women with their own fucking gold? I don't know, maybe stop dating 18-year-olds that need a Kickstarter campaign just to eat dinner. Maybe just date adults with jobs. I don't know.
That's how I know I love my baby more than anybody else in the entire world. I told my husband, till death do us part. And not once have I ever sniffed his ass. I've licked it, but I haven't sniffed it.
I married a chef because I'm a fucking genius. Right? Do you guys like food? That's what he makes. That's what he makes. Yeah, I love it. Marrying a chef, it's like a little on the nose for me. It's kind of like Snoop marrying weed.
If I've learned anything in 5 years of being married is we're always working on me. You know? Evidently, my wife is this completed work under museum glass that is to be admired and studied. Like, how did she do that? And I'm like one of these guys, you know those buildings that just has scaffolding around it for like 6 straight years? So you're like, are they ever gonna finish that thing? Is that some sort of insurance job? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again.
I have one fantasy that I've allowed myself, even though it isn't based in reality. But I think it's pretty good. It works every time. I'm in an alley in like some kind of Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider outfit, and an ex-boyfriend comes towards me, one I really loved. And he doesn't say anything right away, and he just leans me against the wall, gets real close, and he whispers, "You're right. I do need therapy."
I said I'm in a relationship now. I did serve several sentences online, and you know, I didn't click with anyone, but I was like, there were several men who I don't want their voices to be lost. Where else are they going to be represented in society? So these are just some up and comers you should look out for. This guy just wrote, "Come smoke weed. Sent on Christmas." I was like, Jesus, is that you?
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now, Chris Rock.
The legend. The walking memorial.
There you go.
Chris Rock.
Walking memorial.
Walking.
What?
That's what. Walking memorial. Remember Jay said that on the Hustling remix. Jay-Z said, "I'm a walking memorial." Only a few people get that, by the way.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take walking memorial over a pot of wax stew. So, yeah.
That works.
How are you and your family, first and foremost, before we get into it?
Me and my family are kind of, I don't want to say great. We're doing amazing considering the circumstances. You know, I know a lot of people are suffering right now, but the Rocks are doing pretty good. My oldest daughter just left for college. She's in Paris, trying to be a documentary filmmaker. So I'm very proud. Yeah.
How often do you speak with her? Because I know you must speak with her a lot.
Right now, yeah, she kind of calls me every day right now, but I know that's gonna stop any moment. I know this too will pass, and it's good. It'll pass.
But your daughters are the ones that play basketball together?
Yeah, they both went to college this year.
Envy's daughter, your daughter goes where?
She goes to NYU.
Yes. These are beautiful things. These are beautiful, amazing accomplishments. So, yes, I'm good. I cannot complain in this time of COVID.
She might be safer in Paris than we are over here.
Yeah, she is going to be safer. I mean, you know, they got that. Their COVID is pretty high over there right now. But, you know, America's all over the place. So you're always safer somewhere else, unfortunately.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. You've lived through a lot of these injustices, cops getting no punishment for things that happen to Black people. How do you feel today?
You know what, man? I feel, you know, there's two levels. You're disappointed and you're hurt by what happened. It's not just the cops. Remember, there's a whole, everyone in the chain of command should have been on
judicial
trial.
System. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whoever signed the papers that said, okay, go get her, you know, go get them, should be in there too. I'm also just upset that I'm used to this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a surprise. Isn't that like, wow, it's like, you know, like the sun rises in the east. You know what I mean? It's like,
We would have been surprised if she did get justice.
Yeah, that would have been like the shock, you know? So it's sad that we're just here, you know, and her name is going to go on a stack of other names, you know, and there's a chance that 3 months from now that we're so busy with the next one that we forget about Breonna. That's, you know, not on purpose, but there's this, you know, the bodies just keep piling up.
What do you tell your daughter? You know, because your daughter is out there, she's in school, and what do you tell her? How do you tell her to move to make sure that she's safe?
You know, fortunately, you and I and everybody, you know, us five being, you know, on the radio right now, we live lives that because of our economic status, we're not exempt from what's going on, but we kind of, you know, we're kind of on a hill and we get to watch what's going on. So we're a little a tad safer. But yes, I do tell my daughters to keep their eyes open and their ears and be alert and just know where they are at all times, you know? But, you know, we've been blessed. So I'm not really worried about the cops knocking down my door right now. But I realize that, you know, it's not even about my daughters. It's like my cousins and my nephews and, you know, that have like normal jobs that are really out there on the front lines.
That's interesting to hear you say that, because I remember watching you getting pulled over all the time, and you're rich, you're famous. How have you ever felt free in this country? You can't possibly feel exempt.
No, I don't feel like, I wouldn't say exempt, but I do, you know, like when you punch my name up, even if you don't recognize me, as soon as you punch somebody says something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not going to sit here and act like my life is as tough as, you know, my brother Andre or my cousin Ronald or my cousin Kamel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm, you know, I don't want to sound like a rapper, but I am Chris Rock. You know what I mean? And, you know, membership has its privileges, but every now and then you forget your card.
Yeah.
And then you can't get in.
That's very true. You know, you're a comedian, so if you bomb, right, you know what you're doing isn't working. How does America make itself better when it doesn't even know it's bombing?
America's got a lot of issues right now. I mean, America has to, America has to figure out, does anything work from the top down? You know what I mean? Does anything work? Does the presidency work? Does the Congress work? Does police work? Does like anything work? We really need a diagnostic check. You know what I mean? And see what's needed and what's not at this point. It's not even about fixing any particular thing. Sometimes, you hurt your knee, and because your knee's hurt, you're overcompensating, and now your hip's messed up. You know what I mean? So we don't really, America's got so many problems right now, man. But the number one problem, is we don't work together. We're very adversarial.
Now, as a comedian, how do you make people laugh at this time with so much going on? It's like between George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Donald Trump, racism. Like, how do you make people laugh?
I mean, first of all, none of that is funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I love Dave's special he did on Netflix, because it was like, it was kind of like, you ever hear the Malcolm X, the Ballad and the Bullet speech?
Yes, absolutely.
It's very like, yeah, Dave's special on Netflix. I believe, what is it, 861?
846?
846 is like, he did a special, and it's got some jokes in it, but it was really just like a mission statement. You know what I mean? Like realize a comedian is not just a funny person. A comedian's an orator. And right now, maybe the job is just to speak. Maybe the job isn't to be funny.
Right.
Maybe, one of the coolest things about being a comedian is the power to speak and get people's attention. We take that for granted, that a guy can get up and talk and get everybody to be quiet and listen to him. So maybe that's the thing right now. It's not really even about making light of this stuff, because it's so heavy,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you were in Yellow Springs. How was that for you, performing in the cornfield?
I love Yellow Springs. It's if people that don't know Yellow Springs, Dave Chappelle, the honorable, all praises due to honorable Dave Chappelle, it's kind of running like a comedian summer camp in Yellow Springs, Ohio. That's his hometown. And Dave's kind of like the unofficial mayor of the town. And he, Dave's got a bunch of land, and he kind of set up a stage in a cornfield. And it's everybody's socially distanced. We all got rapid COVID tests. So you land, your plane lands, you get off the plane, you get tested, you wait your 15 minutes or 20 minutes, however long it takes. And once you get your negative test, then they give you a wristband. And
were you nervous while you were waiting for your results? Were you nervous?
I've been pretty separated. I haven't been, in the clubs, in the underground clubs.
But the flight, traveling.
No, I got my own plane.
He wasn't. He didn't fly. He didn't get there the same way you got there. You took commercial. He was on his own plane.
I went out there twice also to Yellow Springs, and I was so nervous waiting those 15 minutes. I was like, man, I don't know. What if coming over here?
Y'all weren't on the same flight. Don't worry about it.
If you want to go again, hit me up. You can get on my plane. We'll go. It's all good. You're more than welcome. But yeah, it's nice to be in an atmosphere where everyone's tested, and it's Dave, so the weeds are plenty. And weeds are plenty, and mushrooms are plenty, and we go out.
I didn't know you could talk about that.
I mean, you guys can. I think that's the guy made the half baked, so
Right. The mushrooms. Did you do the mushroom tea?
I did the mushroom tea, and yeah, I just woke up 5 minutes ago. I can't even believe I made it here.
Did you see anything about yourself that you didn't?
The mushroom tea is so potent. I think I'm on The View right now. So that's how potent.
I'm Whoopi.
It's like yeah, you're Whoopi. Envy's Joy Behar.
No, Envy's Megan McCain, definitely.
I'm not no damn Megan McCain.
Did you see anything? Did you see anything? Did the tea show you anything about life that you hadn't seen before?
You know what, man? What I'm looking at this time, it is like one thing about COVID and quarantine and all this stuff. It's like you really assess your moves right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this is halftime, and it's like, you know what I mean? And first of all, great teams, great coaches make adjustments at halftime.
That's right.
The greats make adjustments, and the whack keep playing the way they were playing. So right now, I'm making adjustments in my life, making adjustments in my mental health. I'm making adjustments in my physical health. I'm trying, I call this the 3 pigs part of life. Remember the 3 pigs?
Yeah,
you have to really figure out 3 little pigs part of life. What kind of house have you made, Charlamagne? If you make it, is your life of sticks? Is it a
straw?
Is it of straw or bricks?
That's real.
But you don't know that until something happens, though. America thought it was a brick house.
That's right.
So yeah. So did you make a brick house? And I tell you right now, I'm getting calls. Some of my friends have brick houses, but some of my friends' houses are made of straw. And I'm getting calls from famous people trying to sell me their cars.
Wow.
And like people we know that like get ready to lose their houses. Like people that have been on the Breakfast Club that like, yo, the houses are falling. So, yo, this is the time, nothing to be ashamed of, but from this point on, we know something can happen.
Yeah.
And we should live our lives accordingly.
Well, with that said, is there any of those people that you want to be the big bad wolf to? Because they fucked you over in the past? Blow the house down?
I'm not blowing nobody's house down. I wish everybody well. When this thing went down, the first thing you do is like, how do I take care of the people I love? How do I take care of my loved ones? How do I make sure they're safe and secure and can, weather this storm? So, and I'm blessed, and I'm not the most religious person, but thank God I can like help out, my people. So this is truly a blessing.
How are you moving? How are you moving differently if you are moving differently than before? Because it just smacked us in the head. I mean, one weekend I was at Super Bowl with my son, and the next weekend the world was shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm downsizing on some level. I tell you that. I'm looking at, my father used to say, you better make some decisions before the white man makes them for you.
Wow.
and I'm I'm making some decisions. So, life's great, but at the same time, you're like, okay, what's sustainable?
Right.
Like if this happens again, because it could happen again. It happened once, it could happen again.
It's still not over.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay. So can I ride out a year without working? Okay, that's good. But what if I have to ride out 3 years without working? Ooh, I don't know now. Ooh. So, you just making different moves and different investments and different, you set up your priorities are different. The people you surround yourself, you got to weed out some people, because trust is a whole nother level now. Like, do I, who are my friends that are really out in these streets?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You're also getting to learn to know yourself a whole lot better.
Yes, I'm doing a lot of therapy now because I got the time, working on my, just go to my shrinks and go to my trainers and, you know, just working on myself a lot. But yeah, definitely assessing who's in my life, you know, and I got a lot. I actually know a bunch of people that have gotten COVID. I know like 7 people that got COVID. I know about 4 people that died of COVID.
Wow.
And most of them run these streets, you know? So, you know, you gotta be very careful about who's in your life because this COVID's real.
Mhm.
Like, you know, you could imagine not being able to taste food for 6 months or something.
Right.
Not like nothing you taste, you have no taste to it. You smell nothing. You know, this like it's for real.
You know, but for some essential workers and healthcare workers and people that still have to be on the front lines, I think it's harder for them to be able to avoid being out here too.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, you know, my friends that go to the underground club and
Right.
go to, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, my man got a bar going on in his basement. It's like, yo, what are you doing, money? What are you doing? Don't you have a mother? What's going on?
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, America, hey, we're the #1 drug consumer in the world. So, of course, the #1 drug consumer in the world has a hard time following direction. It's like, why are we so amazed that the #1 consumers of heroin, cocaine, and alcohol can't follow directions?
That's real.
True.
Listen, you talked about therapy. You spending 7 hours a week in therapy. I love therapy myself. Was it the stage that served as your therapy before?
Yeah, you know what? Being on stage can be therapeutic, but you don't let it all out on stage. And it's like, the thing about therapy, what I learned, especially this round, it only works if you tell the absolute truth.
Truth. Yeah.
Like literally, it like, because your relationship with your therapist is just that. It's a relationship. And people, you know, when you have a relationship, you like to present the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that can be a big disservice to you in therapy. In therapy, you actually, if you really want it to work, you should present the worst version of yourself. You should present the person you hate. Like, the part of you can't stand needs to be presented. So
But that's the
I've
truth.
been to therapy before, but I always, like a joke I used to do. I always used to bring my representative. I never really brought me. And I brought me. I'm bringing me now, and I'm it's really helping me out.
What made you reveal that? Like, what made you peel back all those layers and say, I'm going to present me?
I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, some of it's just the COVID of it all. Just like having, once work shut down, you just have all this free time. And, it's the Michael Jackson song. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. And like, okay, you got money, you got fame, but you're sitting here by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, it's like, okay, how do I make it to the next level? How do I get joy from things I don't buy? You know what I mean?
Right.
My kids are getting older. They're doing their own life. They're doing their own thing. They're literally out the house. How do I get joy just from waking up? So, I gotta look inside. I gotta look deep inside. And, I gotta like hold myself accountable for, things in the past.
You said that you had been diagnosed with this nonverbal learning disorder. So how does that affect your everyday life and what can you do about it?
How does it affect my everyday life? I process things slower. I'm like, I don't pick up on hints. You know what I mean? Like, I process it. Okay. Line for me is I have a hard time with social cues. So when we talk, all I pick up are the words. Mm-hmm. So if you were angry with me or just perturbed with me, or even if you were into me and you were like trying to, whatever, have sex or whatever, I wouldn't pick up on it. You'd have to literally say it to me. You know what I mean? I would pick up on it like a week later. Like, hey, I think Angela was really into me. Like that's how my mind works. I have a hard time. I'm one of these guys, I can't do anything technical. Like all this, like I can't.
Yeah, so somebody had to put up the volume, turn on the volume for you. We would like turn
down. Yeah, like it just takes me a minute. But I used to not realize, I used to just think I was old or I was slow, but now I'm realizing, oh, okay, and I'm getting better. Like I can work my Bluetooth now. I can, you know what I mean?
How did you realize? But when did you realize what it was, or what the problem was?
You know what's weird? A friend of mine jokingly, said I had Asperger's, and I was like, really? He said, I think you might have Asperger's. And it's weird. Just said to myself, okay, I'm going to get tested. Because I had another relative with Asperger's, right? And I got tested, and the doctor was like, no, you don't have Asperger's, but what you have is right next to it. And it's called NBLD. And the doctor was like, you've been taken advantage of in life. You're a little slow in some instances, and you're hype, and you're amazing, but at the same time, your verbal ability and your memory are impeccable. Right. So I've been, it's like the blind guy that can hear amazingly. You know what I mean? Like, right. I've been overcompensating for it. And, having a hard time with subtlety is great on a stand-up stage where you're screaming. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in a one-on-one relationship, my relationship with my brothers, my relationship with my mother, or, wife, girlfriend, like all of that's has all suffered because I'm like, I have a hard time picking up stuff. But now that I know, I'm 1,000 times better. You know what I mean? Because not knowing, I knew something was wrong, but you don't know what it is. You ever been sick and not know what it is? It really, right. You have a lot of anxiety because of that. Right. So once you get a diagnosis, now you can deal with it. So I'm dealing with it with therapy, a little bit of drugs, but they're weaning me off. And now I know when I feel a certain way, I have to stop. And before I react, I have to say, okay, is this how I feel? Or is this my learning disorder acting up? You know what I mean? So before I make any decisions, before I react to anything. So, it's great. If I'm way more calm now. I used to have a squirrel-like energy. And squirrels, you can't sneak up on a squirrel. Squirrels are always like, what the fuck is going on? Right. You can't wait. You know what I mean? Now I'm kind of just chilling, man. I'm way more relaxed.
I need to know.
Way less judgmental.
I need to know more on how that impacts you with women, though. Like in the bedroom, because a lot of communication in the bedroom is nonverbal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I did. I'm one of my therapists is a sexual therapist. You know what I mean? It's all encompassing. But here's the thing too. I'm better because I know, and I've been on a couple of dates recently, and now I tell them. It's in a weird way, it's almost like, remember you saw the Joker, and he walks around with that card, right? And he's like, "Yo, I got this." And you tell a chick, yo, I'm sending you a link. This is what I have. And now helps women deal with me in a better way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay.
They're more verbal instead of trying to give you the subtle.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Chris, I want sex. You want the clear.
Okay, come on, Envy, relax.
Wow, Envy.
But
Damn, I know your daughters are. Jesus Christ.
it's just, yeah, it's like everybody knows what's up. So yeah, it's easier on everybody now.
I do want to make sure we talk about Fargo though, because that's a huge deal, right? You're on season 4. Is it season 4?
Season 4 of Fargo, yeah.
Of Fargo. They just sent us some screeners yesterday, so I saw the first episode because I was like, I got to see Chris Rock play this role. I watched the movie like way back in the day, so I was just interested to see. And there was a lot of different storylines going on. So let's talk about your character on Fargo.
Well, you don't have to audition though. You don't audition anymore. You just say, "I'll take this part."
I mean, your life is an audition. You know what I mean? Like, I've been around so long, which is good and it's bad. Because sometimes it's good. It's like, oh, I've seen him do this, this, and this. I want him. And then it's bad sometimes because people think they know me.
Right.
And I can't audition. You know what I mean? Like, just like, I seen him in Pootie
This wouldn't be a
Tang.
good role for him.
Yeah. He's not coming in. That's the guy from Pootie Tang. You know what I mean? Like, like I wish I could audition for more stuff, honestly.
You know, it's something comedians have in them that allows them to tap into dramatic, serious roles in a very unique way. What do you think that thing is?
I mean, comedians are pained for the most part. Every comedian I know has trauma in their background, with the exception of Jerry Seinfeld, who's just still a genius. but
no trauma.
We all have trauma, and it's just how we process it. And we process it through laughter, and laughter is our bodyguard. Laughter is, put it this way. The greatest sensations you can give a person is sex and laughter, right? It's like, those are the highest things. But we break up with people we have great sex with. You don't break up with nobody that makes you laugh.
That's kind of real. That's for real. You need the comic relief at all times.
Yeah, like your most ratchet, funny friend, you will figure out a way to keep them in your life.
Right.
Because even when you're mad at them, they're going to do something to make you laugh about whatever it is you're mad at.
Yeah, they steal from you like, this motherfucker, he stole from me. You let them back in. Like, so laughter is the highest level of enjoyment you can give a person.
That's true. I can see that.
So let's get back to Fargo. Now tell us, for people that don't know about Fargo, tell us about Fargo and what you play in Fargo.
Okay. Fargo, for those that haven't watched it, Fargo, I would say the 3 best shows on television: Game of Thrones, Atlanta, Fargo. Watch all the seasons if you can. This season, I play a guy named Lloyd Cannon, a mobster in 1950s Kansas City. He's a complicated man because, he's a businessman, he's a legitimate businessman, and he's a gangster at the exact same time. He's a black man with a dream. I think, you got to see it. He's a black man with a dream, but living in a world that's set up totally against him. Not too much unlike the world today, but much more severe. And you get to see this guy's trials and tribulations, not just as a businessman, but as a father, as a husband. And, it's very, there's a Tony Soprano element to it. You know what I mean? Like we think of Tony Soprano as a gangster, but at the same time, it's like the family drama was just as much, if not more, than the actual gangster drama.
It's filmed beautifully, and there's so many things like I said, I just watched the first episode, so I don't know what's going on because I saw your son, and then I was like, why is his son not living with him? Why are these random people? So I know there's a lot I'm gonna have to watch to make everything kind of tie together. You have to watch the whole series, I'm sure.
Angela, I think you got nonverbal learning disorder. You just like me. You gotta watch it 3 times to understand it. It's okay.
Like they're training
You know, Chris, I see you post a lot of your old material now, and I love it because it sounds so fresh, and a lot of it is like very prophetic. When you re-listen, when you rehear things, does it make you feel like I'm special? Do you get your Kanye on and be like, I might be a prophet?
Oh no, it's so funny. I've been talking to Kanye a lot lately. I can't. No, you'll never hear me say I'm a prophet. It's never coming out of my mouth. One of the things about that I've done in the last whatever year, not just going to therapy, I've kind of gotten off social media.
Mm-hmm.
I got off all social media. I don't watch pornography anymore. I'm like, my brain is like I'm focused, man. Now, so a lot of that stuff on YouTube or what is it, Instagram, I got like a company that puts that stuff up. But yes, I've been told that a lot of my old material is trending now. And I don't know. I mean, Charlemagne, on one hand, yes, it's great that you can write something that's, lasts 10 years, 20 years in some instances. But on the same time, it's sad that these jokes are still relevant. You would hope that in 15 years, people didn't even know what I was talking about. Like, oh, police harassment. What is he talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you would hope 20 years is a long enough time for a problem to be fixed. So I don't, on one hand, it's good. Yes, a lot of younger people are into me right now that weren't before and giving me a different look. All my specials are like, people are watching them in a way they weren't watching before. But I would rather nobody watch me and their, justice for Breonna Taylor and, and everybody else and George Floyd was alive and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's other topics I think that are evergreen, like for instance about divorce. You have a lot of great jokes about divorce, and we see a lot of things happening. I just referred to one of your jokes the other day when I was talking about Dr. Dre and his wife Nicole and their divorce, and I was like, well, Chris Rock says if you make it 30,000 and she wants half,
yeah, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I you know what? I wouldn't even say I lost a grip. Boy, if I told you how much money I lost, you would slam your mic right now. But you know what? Put it this way: divorce is always good. It's always good. No one's ever I think Louis C.K. said it. Like no one's ever returned it. This divorce is horrible. No one's ever brought it back. I don't know. I don't know about Dre. I don't want to talk about Dre. I'm just, it's the mother of your kids, and that's when your kids are going to be at least half the time. And whatever. I don't know. I don't know what half is. I don't know what. The mother of your children should be, safe and sound.
Yeah.
And it's not even compensated. It's just, that's a weird word. It's like a business word. It's just we're family to the end.
Taking care
even though you know what I mean? Like even though you're divorced, you're still family.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids with somebody. So I don't know. Hopefully they can figure it out. Cause you have all these fights and like my divorce took like 2 years. And honestly, it could have been done in 2 months. It's just.
Did you think your settlement was fair?
I mean, what's fair? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I respect the law. It is what it is. Right now, I'm not married now, and whatever I make is mine. Right. So, is that fair? You know what I mean? You could argue that too. Mm-hmm. So,
Life is still good. Your net worth is 100 million. Your daughter's in school in Paris. You're drinking sparkly water.
Flies private. Yeah, life is great.
I go to Dave Chappelle's. I'm good. I'm not here to complain. My ex-wife's cool. We talk all the time. My kids go back and forth. Our houses are like 5 minutes apart. Mm-hmm. It's all good. I wish Dre nothing but the best, and they'll figure it out.
I was going to ask about Jimmy Fallon. You know, people were asking about Jimmy Fallon. He did a skit and he used blackface, and people were asking your comment on it.
I mean, here's the thing. That sketch is 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Are people really asking me to judge a man for something he did 20 years ago? Like, really? Like who amongst us hasn't done something 20 years ago? And you guys are on the radio. You said things 20 years ago you would never say today.
Let's not talk about it, Chris. Don't go having them digging up our shit. All right?
Yeah, come on. Why would you even do that?
Why you putting it on us, Chris?
Like you would never.
20 years ago.
Exactly. So, I mean, we got to stop, like, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is Jimmy Fallon's our friend. Okay? Jimmy Fallon's got a show with the Roots as his band. And we have known Jimmy Fallon for like 25 years. He used to be on SNL. And do you think Jimmy Fallon's a racist? Like, no. Your friends should get the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Like, what's the point of being a friend if you're going to judge somebody harshly immediately? Not even your friends. Strangers should get the benefit of the doubt until, proven otherwise. So let's stop assuming the worst of people. And, everything that's wrong, just because something is blackface racist? Yes. But all things racist aren't racism. Some of them is just people being dumb. And everybody's allowed to be dumb sometimes or to be ignorant and not know.
Right.
So I'm cool with Jimmy. I've always been cool with Jimmy. Do I want him to do more blackface sketches? No, but I don't. Do I think for 5 seconds he was thinking about doing it again? No, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think we have to have a discussion, Chris. We have to have a discussion at some point. We got to create a safe space to have a discussion about cultural context and talk about how some of these things back in the day were just performative and every. We make inappropriate jokes about everything.
In South Africa, apartheid got lifted, and instead of, and this is why Nelson Mandela is like the greatest man to ever live. Instead of punishing everybody for crimes they did in the past, they had days of reconciliation where people just came and apologized. And that was it.
Wow.
We're starting clean today.
Wow.
It wasn't about getting everybody, rounding everybody up and punishing them. It was, you know what I mean? Because yes, some of them were absolutely evil, but some of them were just caught up in the system, And, if good enough for Nelson Mandela, good enough for me.
Right.
If Nelson Mandela can forgive people for what the fuck happened to him, then who am I to get mad at a sketch that happened 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I would hope, or a joke. I would hope that people, I'm not a perfect person. I would hope that people assume I'm a better person than I was 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
True indeed.
All right. Well, you guys, Chris got to go.
We could sit here and talk to you all day. I know you got it. I do have one more. I have a bunch. You said what?
Anything for Charlamagne.
Oh, well, okay. I need 2 more questions then. How many calls did you get from the Democratic Party after your statements that Democrats worsened COVID-19 by focusing on impeachment over the pandemic? Or did you even get calls from the other side? Would you like to come on Fox and talk about it?
No, here's what happened. And here's the problem with everybody. No one reads the whole thing. Everybody just reads the headline.
The headline. Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you this, a friend of mine, Mark Benioff, he owns Salesforce. You know Salesforce, that computer software company? They have buildings everywhere. Mm-hmm. He called me up and goes, you were absolutely right. Now, it's the billionaire calls me up and tells me you were absolutely right. You know why? Because the billionaire read the whole article. Mm-hmm. And in the article, I say, Donald Trump is like the movie The Last Emperor. He's a 5-year-old running the country. Okay? Now, if you think a 5-year-old is running the country, then you have a responsibility. If you think a 5-year-old is running the ship, you have a responsibility to actually look for the icebergs. Now, that's what I really meant to say. So if Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats believe Donald Trump is competent and they just disagree with his policies, then everything I said was wrong. And I apologize. But if you believe Donald Trump is totally incompetent, immoral individual who shouldn't be president and is unqualified to do this job, then yes, it is your job to not get caught up in emotion and to actually look for the icebergs that are coming towards America.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there is a responsibility to being the smarter person. There is more responsibility. It's not fair, but that's the way it is. So that's what I said. Now, I'm sure somebody's going to quote this out of context. So, Charlamagne, do you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. Mm-hmm. But I actually read the article, though.
Yes, that's what I said. Yes, because Nancy and the Democrats are the smarter people, yes, it was a waste of time to go for this impeachment that wasn't going to happen. This ship, America is a ship, and it is your job as the smarter people to look for the icebergs. Yes, of course, Donald Trump is totally incompetent. Yes.
People were so upset when they weren't trying to impeach him. Everybody's like, you have to impeach him. Why are you so scared to impeach him? Why haven't we started these proceedings? And then they do, and then people are like, why did we waste our time? It's just so hard to know what's the right thing to do.
This ain't about emotion. This is, this ain't, this is chess. This is not checkers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And by the way, you don't capture a criminal by telling him that you're after him every day. You capture a criminal by parking a white van outside of his house and letting him get away with a bunch of crimes until he is so confident that you have built up a case that is undisputable. That's how you get criminals. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, when I read it, I knew what you were saying. I just think we take Trump off the hook a little bit because he is president. But then again, he's also the executive producer of Celebrity Apprentice. So it's sort of like we should have expected the fucking plane to crash.
Yeah, the thing about Trump is he's very consistent. He's done not one thing he didn't say he was going to do. And people like consistency. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's like your friends, just the people you deal with in your life. You'll keep a consistent asshole in your life longer than someone that's wishy-washy.
Right.
That you can't tell them, that you don't know who they are from day to day. But a guy that's consistently the same, you can figure it out.
Oh, you mean consistently the same? Because he hasn't kept any campaign promises. You just mean consistently an asshole.
You know what his moves are going to be.
He is who he is.
You knew when Breonna Taylor's, the police officers that killed her, got off the hook, you knew he wasn't going to say condolences to the family. You knew he was going to be on the side of the officers. And
he hasn't surprised you once. He hasn't surprised you once. So yes, it is. I'm a Democrat. I'm for Biden. I'm all, you know what I mean? I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
But as the smarter people, you have more responsibility. It's the Marvel thing. With great power comes responsibility.
That's where the checks and balances come in. I agree.
I mean, the pandemic's not the Democrats' fault, but you can't do two things at once.
Gotcha.
Well,
you said folks give Adam Sandler the benefit of the doubt when it comes to weird roles, and you want that for yourself. What did you mean by that, Chris? Because some people would say, Chris,
I think Adam Sandler was robbed. I mean, I thought Joaquin was great in The Joker, but man, how did Adam Sandler not get nominated for Uncut Gems? That is, all this role stuff, whatever. That's literally my best friend. I love him like a brother, and he was robbed for Uncut Gems.
That's a good movie.
Great movie.
And you're working on a new movie. You're working on a new movie with him, right?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like all this therapy and all this stuff was like I got my brain back. Like I was having a hard time concentrating. But now I'm just writing a lot lately. So I wrote the script about a year ago for me, Adam, and Dave. And it looks like because there's no touring, it looks like it's closer to happening.
Right.
That's dope.
Wow. Well, check out the new season of Fargo. It premieres on the 27th of September, and we appreciate you for joining us, Chris.
Yes, and for inspiring to learn how to swim, because I don't know how to swim, but I love the fact that you went out there.
Angela, come over. I'm telling you, I got a guy. He'll hook you up.
I know how to swim. It's embarrassing.
To 3 weeks.
The whole life will change. How you do everything will change.
One last question is quick. In terms of opportunity, is it better to be black now in entertainment or in the 90s?
Or in the 90s? The beauty of being black is the future's always better. That's the beauty. It's always better. Tomorrow's always better. Mm-hmm. You know? There are no good old days. You know, maybe musically, but other than that,
musically, right?
All right,
bro, that's so fucked up.
The baby, but
my goodness. All right,
people don't have no good old days. Oh, that is
all right.
crazy.
Well, it's Chris Rock. Thank you for joining us. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Thank you,
brother.
King.
Take care.
Television debut tonight, and I'm thrilled to have him here. He's just wonderful. He's a regular performer at the comic strip in New York City, and he'll be seen in HBO's Uptown Comedy Express and in the new Beverly Hills Cop 2, premiering May 19th. Will you please welcome Chris Rock?
What's up? I was driving down the street, saw a prostitute, asked her how much. She said, $300, I'll do anything you want. I said, bitch, paint my house. I'm 21, I live at home, I gotta move out. I have to move out. Because everybody in my neighborhood, nobody ever moves out. I have friends that are 28 years old and live at home. This is pathetic. There's nothing more pathetic than a 28-year-old man that lives at home. Only one thing, and that's any woman willing to sneak into his room. So once you pay taxes, you shouldn't have to tiptoe past anybody. And I live at home, and my mother likes to clean up my room. And whenever my mother cleans up my room, she always takes out all my dirty magazines. And whenever your mother takes your dirty magazines, you can't say anything about it. If she don't say nothing, you don't say nothing. Yeah, to play it off like they were never there in the first place. And you're sitting there eating breakfast with your mother, and there's like that tension at the breakfast table because you're not like her little baby anymore. You're like some pervert she's giving birth to. So you try to strike up any kind of conversation, you know, like, Ma, have you seen my baseball glove? Your mother goes, well, maybe you left it in the penthouse. Sometimes you don't find out until it's like too late. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You need your book before you go to bed, right? You're looking around, so you have to search the whole house for any picture with a woman on it. And finally, you settle for Aunt Jemima. If it was cable, y'all see how dirty that joke really is, okay? Oh, man. So I just got out the hospital. I had a seizure. I was making a sandwich at the time, so I stabbed my mother and 4 brothers. I didn't even know I had epilepsy until I heard Run DMC. As soon as the music came on, I had to stab somebody. You ever see Run DMC? Yo, man, we don't provoke violence. Yo, man, no matter what Run DMC sings, there's gonna be a fight. They can be doing Barry Manilow songs, and it'll be a riot, okay? They come out there, I write the songs that make the whole world sing. Mandy, and you came and you gave and I told you, what's up, you deaf?
Well, come on over then. Come on over. What happened? You finished too soon?
No,
the band didn't finish too fast?
They told me you were gonna come over to me.
All right, so
said no.
go stand over there. We'll do it again. That's live television. You're very funny.
Well, thank you very much.
What did you do before? You're 20 years old. What did you do before comedy?
Boy, McDonald's for a little while.
You worked or you ate?
I worked there for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you ever go like McDonald's and you get online? There's always a guy in front of you that doesn't have enough money to get anything. He's got like 40 cents and he's trying to make a deal. So, yo, check this out, homeboy. Check this out, man. I got 40 cents, man. I got 40 cents. Yo, McNuggets is $1.49. Why don't you let me get 1 McNugget? Yeah.
Now, Eddie Murphy, did he find you or just has helped you? Or...
Eddie, now, they always talk about how Eddie helped me. What about the help I did for Eddie, okay?
Chris, of course.
Red leather, my idea, okay? You know, his name, Eddie, he wanted to call himself Slappy Murphy, you know? I did that, no. Eddie found me. Eddie saw me at the comic strip in New York, and it's been great ever since. And I mean, he flew me out here, first class. I mean, hooked me up with all the right people. I mean, if I didn't know Eddie Murphy, I'd be in Brooklyn right now and ranking on somebody rather than doing a joke. It's like, your mother's butt's so big, when she bent over, they showed movies on it, you know?
It's a good joke. You said out there that you live at home, in the routine, you said that you live at home. Do you live at home?
Yes.
That's great. You should at 20.
Yeah, but I gotta get out of there. I did the movie, I did HBO. I get a lot of important calls. Like, my father picks up the phone downstairs in between calls. I'm like, I could be talking to a director. I'm like, Chris, could you be in Hawaii next week? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get to my agent. My father picks up the phone. Hey, boy, your poking beans are ready.
Did you like being in the movies?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It was fun working with Eddie, man. He's so good. He's so. This is like a dream. You don't know. You don't know how much this is like unreal to me right now.
Now, you're 20 years old. I want you to remember this when you're 40. Don't let it go to your head because you're very talented. Stay good.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with a very special surprise with a very special friend at this message. It's such a pleasure.